Hi guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Now in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my self-assessment questionnaire that I have created within TaxDome. So within TaxDome there's certain templates that you can create basically where you can create a checklist or a questionnaire for clients to complete. And this for me is really useful when it comes to self-assessment. So I've created in TaxDome a template for self-assessment with questions that I'm going to be sending out to clients for them to complete this year. Now, in order for us to do that, if we just go down to settings down here at the bottom and then go to organisers here, what we can do is if we don't know how to create a template from scratch, we can always go to this copy from library, find the self-assessment questionnaire that's already created in here and simply copy that into our templates. But we're not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to show you what mine looks like. So I'm going to go back on here and go to library. And I'm going to go into this self-assessment questionnaire. So in here, I've given this the name of self-assessment questionnaire personal tax. Organiser name is exactly the same. Now here I've got certain options that I can select. So I've created the button here to say yes to notify about document upload. So if a client goes ahead and uploads a document regarding this questionnaire, I'm going to get a message to say somebody has uploaded this document. Please go take a look. So I find that really useful. So I've not got this organiser self-service on, but I do have this automatically seal after submission box. So this is where if somebody was to complete the questionnaire and say, yeah, it's all done, fine and dusted, they cannot then go back in and amend that questionnaire. So I have that on as default, but you might want to take that off. But I just find if there are amendments that need to be made afterwards, I'd rather them let me know about it in case I have already started work basically. So what we've got here is firstly a questionnaire quick questions, so quick fire questions. So I don't know about your clients, but in the past I've seen checklists sent out to clients in PDF or Word or just an email questionnaire, and it's got all of the information on there that you could possibly need for a personal tax questionnaire. So there's unlimited questions about stock dividends, income from employment, self-employment, etc. However, the way that I wanted to tailor this particular questionnaire was so that if the client doesn't have stock dividends, then the question on stock dividends is not going to appear for them. So they just need to select the ones that are applicable here. And based on what they select, further questions are going to pop up for them below. So it just means that it's very quick and easy for the client to use. They're not going to get confused, and also it's set up in a way where if they only have income from pensions and rental income, then only those two boxes are going to appear, and it's also going to save me time as the manager reviewing that information. So there we go. So on here I have information about untaxed interest, tax interest, dividends, etc., income from employment, partnership, all the sort of things that you would expect to ask as part of the self-assessment. And this is not an exhaustive list, so there could be other things that I ask for depending on conversations, but this is a very good start for 10. So let's go down to what we've got down here. So I have 3 sections that I've created, and you can create a new section by simply clicking on add a new section. So we've got this section for document upload, so anything that I ask for in the above, the client can then upload into here for me, and I've got access to that. If they have rental properties, then they can add information about rental properties here. So personal details, so your name, date of birth, mobile, national insurance number, etc. So what I really like about TaxDome is this point here. So that's standard, free entry, so they can just enter the information into there. Perfect. But with these buttons here, and these are questions that I've added in, can you see it's got conditions on here and impacts? So basically, this question here, if we go on settings, is not going to come up unless they have selected the question above. So if they've ticked that I've not been resident for the full year, then this question is going to pop up. And if not, it's not going to pop up. So again, it's not going to overcomplicate the issue or create complications for the client when they're trying to complete this questionnaire. So here I have questions about, so standard questions, have you been Scottish or Welsh taxpayer, etc. If the answer to the above is yes, then please write Scottish or Welsh in here to confirm. Here, are you a UK resident? Yes or no. If the answer was no to the above, then this. So there's all these different conditions. So depending on what is selected and what is answered above here, in these conditions, this is only going to appear if they've answered yes to the above, for example. So here, if they've answered no, then this will appear in this case. So if we go down, there's boxes here for them to enter even more information if that's applicable. And then we move down to another question. So question 13, do you have any untaxed interest from UK banks? Do not include interest from ISAs, yes or no. And a condition here, if you answered yes to the above, then this next question will appear. So if you answer yes, then please include the description of the accounts and any interest received in this box. So it's really clear as to what you're asking the client to do. So we'll just keep moving down. So the same thing again, dividends. Did you receive any dividends from UK companies? Yes or no. And again, this is only going to appear if they've selected dividends from the quickfire questions up above here. And you can see this is the same sort of format all the way throughout. So it's, does this apply? Yes or no? And if so, it's going to appear. And then based on that, further information requests are entered below the question if that is applicable. So just keep going down. So again, I've got information requests for self-assessment statements on account, and also here, I love this because, and here is a link to a website that provides further information and guidance here if you're stuck or you've got further questions. So I really, really like that. So again, there's more information here on details of time to pay arrangements that are in place, etc. And then there's a free entry box here to say, please upload anything else that might be necessary for us to complete your self-assessment return. So yes, so this is again the general theme of this questionnaire. And basically, if I was just to go ahead and close this box at the top and click on save, if at any point I need to go in and change what that template looks like, I can. And I'm just going to show you what this self-assessment organizer looks like as the default template within Taxdome that you can use. So if you're not familiar with Taxdome, you can go in and just use this, copy from library, and you've got the same sort of information on. They have this laid out where you've got self-employment income as a separate box, and all of the other information in separate boxes, which might work better for you, but I just found it useful to have it all in the one sort of form. So you can do it in this way too, and just simply use this and send that out to clients. So that's equally as useful from a bookkeeper or accountant's point of view. So there you go. Now, if I go into my pipeline here, I actually have a pipeline set up for the self-assessment return. So what this is doing, if I go down on the bottom here, is if I've selected a client that has self-assessment attached, then as a tag, then it's going to start creating these jobs, these workflows. So it's going to send an email out to that client to say we're going to be starting your return. And then it's also going to send out the questionnaire for them and say, you know, look, if you go into your portal, then there's this questionnaire that you've got to complete. And also the great thing about Taxdome is that if a client goes in and amends the questionnaire, you know, uploads information, etc., I receive a message in my inbox to say, you know, something's changed, etc. So there we have it. So as this moves along and the information is reviewed and you tick on the workflow to say, yes, that job's been done, it's going to move on to the next step of preparing a self-assessment draft and review and approval for the client. So if I just go on to workflow here, in fact, let's go into calendar instead. So let's look at the calendar. So here you can see that there's some tasks that need to be completed in May. So here we've got the preparation of self-assessment return for a particular client. So once that has actually been completed, that will then move on to the next step in that workflow. But you can see all of that from the calendar here. So that's really interesting and useful, and you can change between tasks, jobs and all here also and change the dates. So I really like that feature in Taxdome. But yes, I just thought I would show you what that looks like today, and I hope you found it useful. And if you've got any questions about building your own template in here for self-assessment, please do add comments in the comment section. I'll do my best to help. So otherwise, take care, and I'll catch you on the next video.